Mr. Jandyal sir, please, the stage is yours, sir.
Thank you, Deman. At last, I'm asked to speak, but I don't think I speak as a panelist now. I speak on the comments already made. I'm wondering whether I should speak on delimitation.
The choice is yours, sir.
On Sheikh Abdullah, on Pandit Nehru, on POK, on different elections, electorates. I think everything has been talked about. I don't wish to contradict anybody, though I don't wish to concur Professor Suresh Sharma's views on Pandit Nehru and the doing and undoing of Sheikh Abdullah. Because this is the unending debate. If you start on 47, this is an unending debate. And I don't think if 10 minutes is enough to talk about that. But I want to correct Advocate Khajuria Samir. He talked about the nomenclature of the state. He said there was a motion to amend the name of the Jammu and Kashmir. No, it wasn't. The second part of your speech was correct. It was a amendment in the rules to allow Jammu Kashmir to get 4 members nominated by the Maharaja or by the regent on the recommendation of the Prime Minister. And at that point of time, the Constituent Assembly member from Bihar, he got up and said, in this amendment, you have mentioned Kashmir, whereas it is a state of Jammu and Kashmir. To him, the reply was, Saryangar was said, I understand, it was traditionally a name as a Jammu and Kashmir, but unfortunately, in the entire draft constitution, we have already mentioned Kashmir as a state. So we'll have to amend everything. So ultimately, a consensus was arrived that you write Kashmir, but in right bracket means erstwhile Jammu and Kashmir. So having said that, now I come to the delimitation. Much has been said, I don't think much is left for me to say, but I will take up a few points which are not said. First of all, this is not a political forum. And General Sahab just said they can make a recommendation to the government of India. No, they are not subordinate to the government of India. Their job mandated by the Act and the Act of the Delimitation Act 2002 and a notification issued by the MHA, they have to complete the process, delimit 7 seats, new seats, redraw the boundaries of 83 seats, and then make notify the preliminary report, seek objections, and after objection, they consider the objections and decide, and finally a notification is issued, and the entire record of the Delimitation Commission is sent to the Election Commission of India. The government doesn't figure anywhere. So this is one part. But I come to the different demand raised before it. I have written an article, and on that, Mr. Drabu became very angry. He got into my past and called me so many things. So I repaid him in my own way. Area, population, all factors are there. Compactness, it is written not on the terms of reference. It is mentioned in the Section 9 of the Delimitation Act of 2002 and Section 4 of our State Jammu and Kashmir People's Representation Act 1957. Actually, while there is a necessity, and this is very important also, the task before the delimitation is huge. The last delimitation was undertaken in 1995, and it was, the notification of that was issued initially in 1981. from 81 to 95, though there was a commission appointed, but they did not come up with any report. So the previous 83 seats or 87 seats are based on data of 1981 census. It means 40 years back. The data is of 40 years back. So they had to be updated. Secondly, in 2006, the administrative units of Jammu and Kashmir were changed from 12 districts to 20 and from 54 tehsils to 270. Friends, all these segments, assembly segment has to fall within the limits of the administrative units. They have to fall in one particular district, one particular tehsil. So they have to redraw all these constituencies. They have to carve out constituencies for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. And the act of our Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act of 2019, they clearly says that this have to be proportionate to the population of these communities. So seats have to be demarcated as per the population, and seats have to be reserved where there is a larger population of these communities. Earlier, we had scheduled caste, 6 seats of scheduled caste, but we didn't have the scheduled tribe. So now, because the extension of the Act of Constitution of India, and we have to carve out constituencies for scheduled tribes. Now, I come back to the 3 points, major points. One is that a BJP has come up before the delimitation commission, demand to unfreeze the 24 seats earmarked for the people living in the POK, and they had to not to be reckoned with the actual strength, effective strength of the assembly. Now they have come up that 1/3 of these seats should be and given it to.
Please don't disturb and mute yourself, please. Don't disturb the speaker.
And give it to the POJK DPs who are living in Jammu and Kashmir, in Jammu region. These displaced persons have also submitted a representation to the delimitation commission. My only observation is that they were dialing a wrong number. This is not a forum, and delimitation commission cannot do anything. The forum is the government of India. If the BJP is so concerned about them, they should have got the provision inserted in the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act of 2019. They have made one question, constitutional roadblock is there. Why we are keeping 224 seats reserved, rather not reserved, but keep vacant for the people of that area which is under the illegal occupation of Pakistan. It is in consonance with the constitutional position that POK is part of India. So we cannot give up that claim, even if we know we will not be able to get it back. Now, coming to the demand of the DPs, these seats may not be unfreezed, but the representation to them can be given, can be considered by way of nomination. My next article is coming on this aspect, that they have given reservation by way of nomination of 2 seats to women if there is not sufficient number of women elected into the assembly. This is in section 15 of the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act. Similar provision can be made for the nomination of 2-3 seats whether unfreezing 3 seats from the 24 or keeping over and above 90 seats. So this can be done. But I am afraid after the motion is there already, the delimitation commission is already doing the job, whether it is legally possible to amend the law and give this provision. Even though delimitation commission have nothing to do with the part of the nomination, which is to be made by the government of the UT when they come to power. In fact, the second part is of Lieutenant General Mehta. I'm sure, I don't know, I'm sure about name. Lieutenant General mentioned about the giving representation to Kashmiri Pandits. Well, Kashmiri Pandit, it's a very thoughtful process had taken place after their migration. You know, if the all Pandits are taken into Jammu, they will take away our jobs, our share of jobs, share of everything. So they have to be kept there in Kashmir because we have not given up Kashmir. Unlike POK, Kashmir has not been given up. So in the elections, the migrant votes are counted in those constituencies. Now coming to the giving representation, I have a very interesting data to share with you. The problem with Kashmiri friends are they can affect the results of many constituencies, especially constituency of Habba Kadal. In Habba Kadal, the Kashmiri migrant voters are 16,710. And you know, the whole process is that, so for the convenience of migrants, the election commission sets up special booths where they are located, largely located. One in Jammu, another in Udhampur, and third in Delhi. According to their rules, they have to apply for registration. Against 16,710 electors, only 6,000 have applied, and against 6,000, 2,000 have cast vote. If the migrant have cast the votes, you know, the Habba Kadal candidate, NC candidate won. She won by, I think, 4,000. She polled 4,955 votes, whereas migrant has 16,000 votes. If they were serious, the Habba Kadal seat could have gone to the migrant, to a Kashmiri Pandit, Motilal Kaur. But they did not. So it is a real politics, I will call, for all groups to call for it. If they are serious, they could get it. And secondly, in our constitution, there is no provision for reservation for any other class, except scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. There is only one exception. Exception is in Sikkim legislature, in Sikkim assembly, where monks and nuns of monasteries have been given one seat. They have given a special consideration because it joined much later in the Union in 1975. It became a part of Union of India. And it was challenged. It was challenged by someone that you cannot have a separate electorate for any particular community. You know, I don't know how many of you are aware of the Pune Pact. The Pune Pact between Mahatma Gandhi and Ambedkar. Ambedkar toyed the same idea, so that you reserve seats and only that particular scheduled caste will cast vote. So Mahatma Gandhi did not agree. And then ultimately a Pune Pact was undertaken and then seats were reserved where everyone would vote. for reserved seats, scheduled caste and non-scheduled caste. But in Sikkim case, it has been done, and Supreme Court in 1993 has upheld this decision because it is protected in Article 371F. So the constitutional protection to Sikkim is there. And similar protection can be given to the DPs of POK. Jammu should get, Jammu people can get certain things by amending Article 371 and getting the provision of 370 provision J. The third part is that comparing the constituencies of Jammu and Kashmir, basically unit is one, that is Jammu and Kashmir unit, UT. So seats are 90. Technically, there should not be division-wise segments. But unfortunately, it is already in existence. It is already in terms of the boundaries of each administrative units. So ultimately, we have to carry forward this discrimination. So if the government of India had thought of it to empower Jammu, if they have given this right of nomination of DPs, that two or three or more people would have come to the Jammu region with voting rights. Out of the 7, Jammu may get 4, Jammu get 5. That's a different issue, how much they will get. Because Mr. Khajuria has compared how small constituencies of Gurez and Karna, leave aside Ladakh, are existing with 17,000 vote or 32,000 vote. Similar pockets can be carved out in Jammu region. And to quote Hasib Drabu throwing a sixer on me, that if you are talking about the area, then most of the seats, new seats will come in the Muslim belt of Doda and Pir Panjal range. He is not aware that Jammu Kashmir is a highly secular area. Unlike Kashmir, where 96% belong to one particular community, here we have 36% Muslims living in Jammu. And there was no divide. The Pakistan and terrorists could not make a divide in Jammu, even the peak of the militancy. We have lived and we will continue to live harmoniously in Jammu, and we will call the bluff of Kashmir and Kashmir-centric people by dividing us on the religious line or Hindu or Muslim lines. Friends, another thing that I think the Delimitation Commission must go for rationalization of the electorates. Even though electorate is not a basis of carving out constituencies. The Act does not say electorate. And somebody said about the census having fuzzed. I don't know how many of us know, there's an inbuilt system. The thumb rule for the Election Commission is that 68% of the population is considered to be above 18 years, more than 18 years. So it means in any constituency where it is more than 68%, it means there is a problem. And there is a tool within the Election Commission. So they go for the house-to-house enumeration. If they are less, they are asked to get themselves registered, be a voter. If they are more, then this process of elimination of votes is there. It is very difficult to say, even though my sentiments are with Jammu. As Jammuwala, as a Jammuite, I also believe, because the difference has increased from 2.54 lakh in 51 to 15 lakhs in 2011. But as somebody said, who does the election? Who does the enumerations? the teachers, the local staff, the ministerial staff of local bodies, government. So it has to be a local man. So people from Jammu will not go to Kashmir to enumerate the thing. So if you keep doubting everything, it is a difficult thing. But having said that Mr. Khajuria has rightly said, there is a suspicion of a huge gap of 15 lakh in 2011 census that needs to be explained by someone, and more so by the census department, not by anybody else. I don't have much to say more because things have been already said, and there's no point in repeating those things. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. You've given us a very balanced view, and you've given the insight into the administration, the working of the spaces, and certain very apt examples you put forward with lots of research and a very, very good analysis, sir. Thank you so much, sir.